look, they told us before the ball game, they wanted to be a little more dangerous on offense. They wanted to take a few more chances. That opening pass certainly set a tone. Maybe a turnover, but I don't think it'll stop them from trying again the rest of this game.
Here are the Bengals on offense, and here is Joe Burrow ready to lead them at quarterback.
Hey, we all love a good story, and what we like even more, guys who can fight through adversity. Joe Burrow coming out of high school, goes to Ohio State, doesn't get a chance to start, transfers to LSU, not thought to be a top prospect, ends up the #1 pick in the draft, and justifies it. Tremendous play, excellent mobility, and leadership off the charts.
Here we go, here we go.
Now they go play action now. Burrow sliding out of the pocket. Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
Well, and I saw the pressure coming out, and that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings.
Justin Jefferson,
76 yards.
and the Vikings use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan.
Now Burrow loses the football.
And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Now this is going to be returned from the back line of the end zone. For the Bengals offense getting set and ready to go again here.
And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Dave. And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Now, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
2nd and 15.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And he lost the football. And the Bengals have recovered it.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. You know who's winning this game right now?
Mother Nature?
Yes, indeed. Precipitation's winning in a big way. Sloppy, sloppy. All these turnovers right now.
Yeah, well, this was the forecast. We got what was forecasted, and we've gotten a lot of turnovers.
And he's off to a very poor start. 2 passes, 2 interceptions. We'll try and see if he can complete a few to the good guys here as he starts 1st and 10.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Again, it's Burrow on 2nd and 10. That's complete to the tight end sample. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. So they don't get anything out of that completion. I guess when you roll out of the pocket like he did there to the left, if you're going to throw it, you better gain some yardage.
Now, can you just hear the old school coaches right now? You threw it for no yards? They don't want the ball in the air unless something positive is going to happen downfield. In that case, they'd rather have the quarterback try and run it himself. Just take care of the ball. If nothing else, just slide and get down.
On 4th down, Drew Chrisman on to punt. And this returnable for Rager.
43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cook. And he is going to be close to a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bengals' 44. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he loses the football a 2nd time, and the Bengals grab it.
Whenever we call a game that's in the snow, we have to focus a little bit more, trying to make sure we've got the right numbers on players that we're calling right, the right guys in the game. Think about the guys on the field. Their focus has to really increase as well because so many things coming at you. You got to make sure that you're really locked in on taking care of the ball.
Or if you don't, you cough it up like they did right there. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Burrow. Dumps it off to Mixon. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors into the game. It's not just trying to take care of the ball, and we just saw there that that's difficult to do, but just trying to keep your feet and carry out your assignments and make sure you're comfortable while you're out there playing. Are you warm enough in your clothing? A million things going on, but the biggest one, hold on to the ball.
And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he is going to wind up losing yardage here as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA. The Vikings with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. And this is Cook with the grab. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the 1st half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Down to the 22-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 22, Cousins. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
from the 13 now. They work on 1st and 10.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook.
They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big...
And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings.
4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Vikings take a 3-touchdown lead. Joseph connects on the extra point,
and it's now 21-0. So that drive in total 8 plays.
And it ends with a touchdown pass to Adam Thielen. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Dalvin Cook,
a 13-yard touchdown run.
And the Vikings are able to add on to their first half lead. You talk about certain guys just having a nose for the end zone. He's one of them, and he was not going to be denied there.
And defensively, especially in the red zone, you've got to be able to at least slow him down and hold on for dear life. But he's able to get out of a couple of tackles there, and not enough people got there in time. Pretty poor on the defensive side of the ball.
Joseph connects on the extra point,
and it is 28-0.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't call.
And that ball going to be intercepted yet again.
Picked up by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. A nightmare of a first half for him, and that's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Now Cook running right. From the 17, Cousins letting one go deep for the end zone. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Nice job escaping the pocket. Boy, he took the shot downfield towards the end zone, didn't he? Trying to go for 6. It just wasn't there against that coverage. They were ready to prevent the big play.
Open man is Thielen. It's complete. Touchdown, Vikings.
Cousins able to connect with Adam Thielen. And the Vikings open the lead up to 34-0. Joseph connects on the extra point.
And a rout is on here in this first half. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it ends with a touchdown pass to Adam Thielen. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he loses the football the second time. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Second time he's fumbled in this game. Fortunate for him, this one goes out of bounds.
And the key for him now is how much equity have you built up with your coaching staff? How much equity have you built up with your team to continue to get opportunities? Fortunate that one went.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Joseph connects on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
Oh, what a catch there by Thielen.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 22 yards there, a first down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Cousins now from the 50. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no speed.
And look at this, it's a fake. And this is caught. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. So we've reached halftime here, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half.
And the Bengal offense ready to go here to start the 3rd quarter.
And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down. and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
Defenders are always happy anytime they can sack a quarterback for a loss of 10 or more yards. There's an example there. High fives all around.
After the sack on first down, Burrow got a man open. It's Chase.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And now here's another interception.
It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Up the middle, it's Cook. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Cousins.
Got an open man finding Jefferson.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Dalvin Cook.
He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Vikings take advantage of the short field and finish it off with a quick touchdown. Joseph connects on the extra point,
and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This is going to be returned from middle of the...
And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And the Vikings pick up the football. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time.
And it's a fumble, and the Bengals grab it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Well, this jet sweep is so popular now in football, but Charles, here's the downside, a turnover.
Yeah, because you want so badly to get the ball in the hands of your receivers, let him try and create something. I think that when he took the handoff, he was thinking something big. Instead, he didn't feel the pressure, and the ball came free.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
Now Burrow. He's got him in. Complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Jamar Chase.
73 yards.
And the Bengals are able to at least get one score back.
And there, Charles, he lined up out left, ran the post, caught it over the middle, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And you have to love the scheme that they just showed there, because if you're going to run a deep post, you ordinarily have to get a safety out of the middle of the field. And you do it one of 2 ways. Either by running routes at him that carries him away from it, or you either freeze him in the middle with routes that run underneath so that he doesn't get depth. Then you throw it over the top, and boy, what a successful play that was.
And this is caught, so they do get the 2. Still a very large deficit, but maybe something to feel a little better about.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Fielded right around the 8.
Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secure. And a lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Second down, they go right back to Cook.
And he'll get this one up to about his 14. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
They're backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
On third down, Cousins. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is caught.
Ooh, with a juke.
And the gamble pays off. They get the first.
A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a first down.
Well, they'll run it here. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Bengals grab it. The 30. 10. 5. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. And at this point, after that return for a touchdown, I guess the only thing is you're asking what else could go wrong.
Not only that, I think that between the two of us, we thought this was over before. I believe now it's really over.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is shoving onto the field as they'll go for 2.
And Burrow's going to look to throw for it.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, they had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that 2-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point? But after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for 2 and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
And now out comes Minnesota.
Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
2nd and 2.
They'll try the middle with Cook. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. Back now in Pittsburgh. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Cousins to throw it. No gain on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
And here's Ryan Wright now
in punt formation, but as we've seen, that's no guarantee he'll punt the football. And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off.
I know, without even asking, without even looking in your direction, that you are not a fan of that call.
Oh, I wish you would look, Brandon, because I was actually thinking this would be the perfect time for a fake.
Right. Right.
Yeah, you're right. This doesn't make any sense to me at all. This deep in your own territory. Look, I'm all for being unconventional. That part's cool, and I get it. But this deep, I just don't think it was the right time to make that call.
2nd and 10 now. Burrow. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Now Burrow loses the football.
And this belongs to the Vikings. And I don't know that that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy through.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield.
And the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
And here's Ryan right now.
Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. And look at this, another fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out, and the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. First down, here's Burrow. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Joe Mixon,
49 yards.
and the Bengals get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit.
They'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Popular down near the goal line. Quick slant. Nice job there to get in, knock it away.
It was. One of the other things you're concerned about when you throw that route is to make sure your offensive linemen use their leverage to get the hands of the defensive front down so you can throw it through that little bit of crowd and get it to the receiver. In this event, they did, but a nice play by the defender knocking it away.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not, and I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out, and you and I, let's get to the airport.
On second down, it's Cook again.
They find some open field here. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line.
85 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. First and 10.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On second and 11 now. Cousins.
Complete. Jefferson the target. On the move past the 40. Still going inside the 20.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, where our booth is here, we can see all of the writers to our left. And their post-game stories, Charles, they have been filed for some time because this game, boy, is it lopsided.
Yeah, we can see our guy Scoop. He's even got his fedora tipped over his face. I think he's taking a nap now. Nothing left to write for him, but how gratifying has it been for them to see what they've done in practice and carry it into a game and see the execution be so good. They've got to feel fantastic about what they've accomplished in this one.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. A short kick taken at the 18. And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. A partner They do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Burrow. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And he's able to skip away from that first defender on his way to a pickup of 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Cook again. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. To throw, Cousins. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way and worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Von Bell up to make the tackle.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Well, Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends.